Hello everyone, I am Maheshwari, Assistant Professor, Department of BSc Information Technology at Dr. SNS Rajlakshmi College of Arts and Science. Now I am going to speak about debugging in software engineering. The debugging is very important process which describes the process of identifying and resolving errors or bugs in a software system. It is an important aspect of software engineering because the bugs can cause a software system to malfunctions and can lead to poor performance or incorrect results. Debugging can be a time-consuming and complex task, but it is essential for ensuring that software system is functioning correctly or not. So, the debugging helps to identify the working status of the currently developed software applications. In this diagram, we have a number of parts. The first one is during debugging, we have to remember four things. The first one, understanding the system. That means what is the functionality of the system will perform once it is developed. Check the system. We have to verify the system's performance. Correct the mistakes. We have once during the development stage, there is a chance if we made a mistakes over that module. So since those errors can be identified and corrected during the debugging stage. Find out the mistakes. Once we correct them, find out the mistakes, then correct the mistakes. Once we find out the mistakes and its types, we are ready to correct the system. Once it is corrected, we have to check the performance of the system. So during the debugging stage, we have to apply four concepts like understanding, finding out the mistake, correct the system, and check the performance of the system. We have a number of tools in order to perform debugging. The first one is code inspection. This involves manually reviewing the source code or software system to identify the potential bugs or errors. The developers can know about the source code ideas, so they will help to complete the code inspection process. Debugging tools. These are various tools that which are available for debugging, such as debuggers, trace tools, and profiles that can be used to identify and resolve the bugs. Various tools which can be applied in order to identify the bugs and correct the bugs. Unit testing. This involves testing individual units or components of software system to identify the bugs or errors. We already know about that software can be developed between various modules. Those modules can be developed by different team members. Once the team members can completed their task, they will be test their performance. That is called a unit testing. Integration testing. This involves the testing the interactions between different components of the system to identify the bugs or errors. Once if we complete the every individual module's performance, we have to combine all those modules, and once again we check the communication between the modules, and what is the functionality takes place over the communication of modules. This is called integration testing. System testing. This involves testing the entire software system to identify the bugs or errors. System testing generally tests the performance of the system, what type of output, whether the output is reliable or not, like that. Monitoring. This involves monitoring a software system for unusual behavior or performance issues that can be indicate presence of the bugs or errors. Logging. This involves recording events and messages related to software system which can be used to identify the bugs or errors. Process of debugging. It has several processes. The first one, we have to identify the problems and report the preparations. Problem identification and report preparation. Assigning the report to the software engineer. Defect to verify that it is genuine. Once the reports can be generated, we have to verify whether the report is genuine or not. Defect analysis using modeling, documentation, finding and testing candidate flaws can be identified. Defect resolution by making required changes to the system. Validation of corrections. Once the corrections happens, we have to just validate whether the corrections are accomplished correct or not. So this is the process of debugging. After debugging, the system can be entered into a development, that means implementation stage. Thank you.